Whoops. Great. Hey guys, how is it going? Sean Darling here from Red Spectre Studios again. And today we're here in Plasticity making a sofa chair for a character that I built called Harold. And yeah, I'm just going to start making it. And I have no real plan for this. I'm just going to kind of go for it. So bear with me. All right, here we go. Looking for my top view. Think I'm going to make a center square. Something like this, sort of representative of the cushion of the chair or the bottom of the chair. I'm going to grab these 2 points and just sort of bring this in a bit. It could be a wing back. I don't even know yet. You know, I don't have to know everything. Just kidding. So I'm going to grab all 4 points now, maybe bevel those. Sure, sounds great. Let's go ahead and do that. So fill it, and I'm going to pull those outward to round them a little bit like that. So now we have this going on. And I think I'm just going to pull this up. This is at the very least going to be the base and then the cushion of the chair. So this is going to be the base of it there. And if I duplicate it, no, I'm going to duplicate the curve. So we're going to take that curve again. I'm going to bring it up and I'm going to snap it to the top right here. So that we have the chair or the base of it. And then we have the cushion curve, I'm going to call it. I'm just thinking my way through this as I go. I'm going to grab that and pull it up just a little bit to separate it from the rest to begin with. And I'm going to go ahead and extrude this plane up because this will be our cushion for that chair eventually. I'm thinking that we need a couple of probably splits in this. So to be smart about it, I'm going to go ahead and make those now. I'm going to duplicate that one and just bring it down. So now that we have this like so, from the side here now, I'm going to grab that and cut through it with our curves. So we grab the box first and then C, and then we select the curves that we want to cut it with. Right click. So now we have 3 parts. I'm going to get rid of all of our curves for now. Turn off our X-ray so it's easier to see. I don't know for a fact that I needed to do that the way I did it. I probably could have just projected a curve onto those. So let's go back, undo that, because, you know, I like to do things the difficult way 3 times in a row. I'm going to go from the front here then instead, and I'm going to make these lines again, maybe a little bit lower than that. And make another one. Just duplicate it. Pull that one down here. Something like this. And we're going to take both those curves, and I'm just going to pull those forward. We're going to project them onto the surface and make that projection hopefully go all the way through. So we're going to take our what is it called? Project right here. I don't think I need to be imprinting. I think it is projecting. No, it's imprinting. So with those 2 selected, I'm going to go, bless you, Shift I said sniff. And I'm going to then select this guy. I'm going to make sure as well that it goes all the way through, because right now it's only going to go like so. And let's find out if we can get it to go all the way through. I don't even know if that's the truth either. I could have probably done exactly what I was going to do to begin with. So Yeah, that is not how I wanted to do that after all. Okay, so one more time. This is how I get through a lot of my projects, by the way, if anybody cares or is wondering. Yeah, lots of struggle. It's kind of my style. I call that a style. All right, so it was project, I guess, after all. So we're going to take that. We're going to go in here to the project. And, okay, let's grab the thing first. Then we'll project. Why aren't you letting me project? I've got the curves. Slide. Let's do it again. That should let me project right here. Project. There we go. Nope. Unable to complete operation. Maybe if we do it from the front. Project. That is odd. I don't know what's happening, why this isn't working. We are going to have to go back to cut, I guess. Looks like it. Okay, fine, whatever. So C, cut, and cut, right click. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of those lines. Not sure why it wouldn't let me project that through. And then we're going to round this top shape and bottom shape. And I'm just going to pull those really rounded, kind of like maybe about there. And then I'm going to put all of this back together, but I don't want to get rid of those lines that I've got. So I am thinking, let me turn on my X-ray. That's fine. I'm just going to test this. I'm going to put these pieces together and see what happens. And right click. Okay, that's exactly what we want. And so I'm going to select these two curves all the way around though, like a Shift Alt Select or whatever. And then now we're going to hit P to pipe those. And we're going to do this in the positive way. So with a Q now, and I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. Something maybe like, I don't know if that's too big. Maybe just a little bit smaller than that. Okay, and that'll be our little sort of cushion with the little edges. Now this will get sculpted in Blender, so don't worry about its perfection just yet. Now I'm going to take this bottom object here, and we're going to take its edges, just the top and bottom edge, and we're going to fillet that slightly, like that. And I'm going to grab the cushion and push it down to meet this guy. So now we have the bottom of the chair, the little cushion that's going to go on it. All this gets sculpted, so it'll have like the, you know, the place where he's been sitting and all that. And then now I'm going to make the rest. And now for the rest of the chair. Okay, so let's first off, I'm going to angle this a bit, I think, because I don't think that should sit perfectly square. Just going to rotate all of this kind of like this. I think that's what I'm thinking. So it has a little bit of a dip, you know. And then from the top or the front, let's go from the top. I'm going to make some legs for it. These are going to be like little wooden kind of legs. So I'm just going to grab a section like this. Those can be adjusted here shortly. And I'm going to move this down until somewhere like there, and like there. And with that, we can see it. I'm going to make this more square. And you know what? I actually kind of like it this way because when we extrude it, I can make it smaller at the bottom and it'll look a little bit more stylish. I mean, he's not a stylish dude that buys big time stylish furniture, but, you know, he's also not a caveman. So we're going to grab that. I'm going to pull this down for now to get it out of there. I'm going to go ahead and extrude this down. And as far as I know, can we? Yes, we can. Yeah, we're just going to narrow that a little bit. You can also change, well, I don't want to change the thickness. I think all of that is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and agree. And if we want to change that shape, we can. This is going to be a bit longer though, or at least the base of the chair. One of these two definitely needs to be a bit longer. Just grab the surface of this, see what happens when I pull that. That's perfect. It's a bit too much. I think now we can get rid of this rectangle. And I'm going to take this top face and just extrude that with an extrude straight up. And that should be better. It's probably too short for a chair. I'm just going to try and get an idea. Let's get rid of that. We need to make a bottom section that's going to be the flip out area. So that's what I had forgotten. So let's just duplicate this one. I am going to look at the side and we're going to move this, but we're going to, did I already do that? Yeah, we did. I'm going to move this, but I'm going to use this line here so that it comes out directly straight like this. And I'm going to make that piece a bit longer and pray this looks good. You know, I'm into that. And this might not be how I wanted to do it, but it's how we're going to do it. I think that works. This should be one piece, though, now that I think about it. So let's go back. Heck with it. And just bring maybe the whole thing down. Probably. So that will be, yeah, that makes more sense. Like this. And we could cut the little flip out if we're going to use it in the front here. So I'm just going to make a rectangle from the center. Just going to pull this something like that. I'm going to grab these points at the top though, because I don't want those completely high like that. Just something like so. And then we're going to cut. Actually not cut, but I'm going to grab this and move it out. The whole curve. Not sure what happened there. There we go. Grab that curve. I'm going to rotate that though till it's matching the other. At least to some extent. So now we can make a cutout with this. So we're just going to grab the face of it. I'm going to say extrude W, touch this one, pull this through to whatever distance it needs to be. That'll be fine. And then we're going to grab this guy. Again, I'm going to put some beveled corners on this one slightly. Oops, not extrude. Let's grab the curve, bevel it. So B, like that. There we go. Now we can extrude the face. Something like that, I guess. Like your grandma's footrest. Maybe a little bit longer, just a little bit like that. This is a stylized animation. And then I'm just going to definitely curve the top like this. Not like that. It has that cushioned vibe to it. And maybe just a tiny bit on the bottom. So if we ever do flip that out, I'm going to move this back into the place it should be. We're going to use the old the trick for our direction that should be going. So something kind of like this. We need to get that straight in the front now. Evidently, didn't feel like it wanted to do that. So I'm just going to go like that. Cool. And then I'm going to round out that other part of the actual couch here. Let me just grab this and hide it. I'm going to grab this one. And now we can make this more soft. Probably doing these and that as well as this one. And just round all that out. Needs to have a soft, kind of look to it. If you're watching, say hello. I mean, we do have a chat here. I'm going to say, hey, what's up? You guys can see that chat window there if you want. Let's turn back on our little footrest portion like this. The side of the chair probably should have that little weird stick on the side. My grandmother had exactly a chair like this. I think it had this weird rocker underneath it too, so we might as well, draw that out. So let's just make a couple of circles for like the ends of these parts. So I'm going to duplicate this one. I think I might have done it more than once. Let's just get rid of that one. And then I can take a curve. Let's hide the bottom piece here real quick. Come on. Select and then hide. Does that work? There we go. The wrong one, of course. And then now let's grab this. I'm just going to do with some straight lines for the moment. And I'm going to first off find the distance between these two dudes. Trying to find the tangent point. It's being difficult. Tan there. And what I'm wanting to do is just find a center point of this line. And that should be it right here. So I will get rid of this original line. There's not going to be the line that we're using. I just wanted to find that point because I knew these circles were not at the center of that line. And I'm just going to go from somewhere about here to a tangent point. And that may be tangent. Looks like it. Said it was, but didn't feel like it. I'm going to go from this tangent, and not the center, but that, yeah, we want the tangent. Cool. And then I'm going to do just a straight line that goes from about here to there. Cool. And I think that's going to give us our main little base for the rockers, or, because they sit on the ground hard, but then that weird little thing slides across them. This is total old school granny chair stuff here, technology. So just grab these curves. I said grab these curves. I don't really have a country accent, even though I've been told multiple times I do. I really don't. I was born in Texas, but literally at the armpit in El Paso. If you're from El Paso, I'm sorry. I spent too much time there. I'm not a fan. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and trim these pieces back out. We can get rid of that for the moment. Matter of fact, we can get rid of that too. And I'm just going to take the face of this now, which will be this guy. We're going to pull that out a bit. I'm going to round off these edges now. Good thing not a famous celebrity, because if I was, man, I'd be canceled for half the stuff I talk about. Not that I talk about anything that's cancel worthy. Keep that in mind. But it's just more about, like I said, if I didn't like a place, I would never be allowed to go back there again. All right, so that looks okay. Let's undo that and also include these lines here. I think that will be a little better. Cool. These aren't really going to show. I mean, it'll all be jammed up under the chair. I just figure for the people buying this, that it's probably a good idea to make it properly. You know, imagine that, right? So that when you look at it, you don't think, oh, I got an unfinished piece of junk. It's actually pretty nicely made. So that's what I suggest everyone do that makes stuff. I'm going to go to about, I guess about there. And we're going to make this just like a crossbar that goes from left to right of the chair. That looks good. So we'll just extrude that face and pull it somewhere over this line. That's all I need to worry about right now. Okay, so if we turn on the rest of our parts that we've got right now, we'll have the little rocker bit and the little crossbar that's going to wind up going across. This doesn't really need to be paid a lot of attention to detail, but you know me, I'm going to go ahead and just say, hey, you know, at least it doesn't suck, you know. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm also going to bond, let's get rid of that. I'm going to bond this and this together. Probably going to say it can't because one of them is not a rectangle or a solid object. So with that one, we're going to grab it and we're just going to go Shift J. It will make it one. And then I'm going to take this piece in case it has any, you know, overhang. I'm going to push that one a little bit more into that one. And then select both and Boolean those together. I am going to, just for the sake of doing this right, delete the bottom of this, but not delete it. We're going to hollow it. So I'm just going to take our hollow here and make this, you know, and before we do that, let's cut a couple lines right there. It'll just make this work better. Just going to make a curve that does this. And I will have to put this part of the chair back together once I cut it apart, but it'll let me make this line. That's very important. So we'll grab the chair and then we'll go C, we'll cut it here. That's not going to work because it doesn't go all the way across. I knew that. What was I thinking? And get rid of that one. And what we're going to do is take this line here. I'm just going to extend it out to where it does go all the way across, because that'd be the smart thing to do. Good to go. We grab the chair now once again. Hit C for subtract or cut. C for subtract. I don't know who came up with that. Alrighty, so now we're going to go back. Hey, Chaka Khan. No, Chaka Kev. Can you bring an SVG into plasticity and then pull it out into the third dimension? I don't know that. I believe you can import an SVG. Let's find out. Let's see what import. What does it say on importing? Just don't pay any attention to these things. Head scans. SVG right there. Yes, you can. So that's something I'll try in another video. But yeah, I think that's a great thing because it's also going to let me, well, let me think about that. Cool. All right. So good suggestion there. I bring that in like so. I am going to now cut this using that curve. So we have that part separated, but we're not going to leave it separated just for right now. Delete this line. I'm going to use that so that on my bottom of my chair, I can select this face and hollow it from here without these extra bits, which will make a huge difference on how this works. So now we're going to go hollow. We're going to pull this here and get just this portion of the chair hollowed out. Just like that. No one's going to see it, but that wasn't the point of it. Now I'm going to take this portion and re-stick those back together. So we have that back like so. None of this needs to be rounded or whatever, but hey, if you ever wanted to use this chair in a animation where, you know, it was visible from underneath for some reason, you could do that. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and get these rounded as much as it will let me. It's being difficult. So I'm just going to, come on now, let go. It's frustrating. I'm going to grab these two and pull that one out at least. And then this one, if it lets me, it looks like I have more than one edge going on here for some odd reason. So to fix that, I don't know that I can directly delete the edge, can I? Let's just X that, or Shift X that edge. Nope, it's not gonna let me do that either. So I need to grab the face here, both these faces. And I'm gonna go Shift X on those to delete those. And then I can, in fact, take this one out too, and then fill that back in by going Shift J. And that didn't work. So we're going to go grab that, Shift J, still didn't work. So what I can do is just loft another piece over here. But you notice I have an extra point here. So I'm going to grab these little pieces. And now I'm going to come over here, if I don't get lost in here, and going to do the same thing on this side. Let me turn off our under piece there. If you have any problem zooming in, like it slows down, you can't get close enough, just turn on isometric view and it'll let you move a lot faster. Okay, so that we'll grab here and here and that little tiny piece at the end. Come on now. Grab this one, please. Thank you. And now, hopefully, we can loft this piece over without any problem. I don't think we need to use guides for that, so I'll just hit L. And we're going to make it a G0 and right click, and that should be okay. We do want to bind that, or you know what I mean, put it together with our other objects, but it has no thickness because these are sheets. So I'm going to try and go ahead and cue those sheets together. And it looks like that's not going to work either. So then we'll have to make some thickness on these now. So if I grab this piece, maybe they'll work now. No, they do not. Okay, so I do have to thicken this. So I'm going to grab that piece right here. There's a command right down here for thicken. We're just going to thicken it inward a little bit, like so. Right click it. And then I'm going to see now if we can bind these two together. It looks like did we? I'm going to double check. No, we did not. So this one is still considered a sheet. So let me Shift J that one and see if we can make it a solid. We cannot, so we're going to have to actually thicken it to the inside as well. That's because I deleted those faces. So in grabbing this, what they consider a sheet, I'm going to come down here and thicken it toward the inside a little as well. Just a tiny amount, and it doesn't seem to want to let me do it. This is no fun. So let's try this another way. I think what I might have to do is cut it in half. And I should have done this before I thickened this other sheet, now that I think about it. Let me leave that as a separate object. I'm going to go with the main portion here. Let's see if I can Shift J. Nope, that one still won't work. Fun. Okay. I think I know what to do. I'm going to delete that. We need to use these sides as guides. Remember I said I didn't know if we needed them or not? Well, guess what? We do. So I'm going to come in here and grab these tiny little bits, 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to rotate around to the other side and do the same thing. So 1, 2, and 3. We're going to loft it using these edges. And then we'll use the other long edges as the guides, and it should work. So for physically building the chair, how it was before it was produced. Well, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think I want to try that. What you suggested, I think that'd be pretty cool. So let's go with loft. And now we're going to use this and this bottom edge as a guide. And I don't think it's still, oh, yes, it does on G0, exactly what we want. They are still considered sheets though. So yeah, kind of interesting. I don't know if you can queue those together now. We cannot. So that's interesting. Very interesting how that's going to work. Because I honestly am not real sure. I'm going to keep trying though. So I'm going to go with this particular one, see if I can now thicken it or solidify it again. You cannot solidify it that way. So I will come up with a solution shortly. I might have to delete some more faces before I can do that, or separate it into another object first. So I can't do it positive. I cannot do it negative. Maybe in a smaller amount. That seems to work there. I'm going to say okay. That did work. This one I can thicken now, which is good news. And we're just going to thicken that one toward the inside a little bit. Right click, and now I can take these two solids, and stick them back together. Little QQ, and that Boolean failed. Of course it did. Well, of course it did. It's just because they're slightly off from each other, probably. Which means I need to make that one either a little thicker or a little wider. Let's go ahead and make it wider, and that should be able to make it embed into itself enough to make a difference. Let's try now. Still not. And this thickness of this wall doesn't really matter a whole lot because it is going to the inside. I'm not worried about that, but let's undo that. It is being a bugger though. Let's go ahead and pull this out. I might just extrude it instead, but that does help there. Let's just see if this will actually go together. This isn't perfect by any means, of course. That's having the problem. Probably on this bottom edge. So let me... I'm going to extrude out this piece and push the whole thing back in. As a matter of fact, I can probably do it right here like this. Let me just push this inward a little bit, and then I'll cut it if we have to. It's just weird how some things try to join and they can't. Like this is just not going to do it for some strange reason. So very weird. I'm going to go ahead, make it a little thicker this way again, and then I'm going to I hate that isometric view. And then I very well, because that was an extrude, wasn't it? How annoying that is. Let's just see if I can push this down in here just to get it to clip enough to make a difference. I'm trying to keep these lines from being lined up. They do tend to have a problem like that. Nah, that's not going to work. I am not sure now. We don't need this, though, now that I think about it. Not that, but this section. Let's delete it and see what we got left. Just that open face. And I think what's happening here is we have a double line. See this double line? That is the problem. So I'm going to go ahead and kill that face as well. Now it should work better. I'm just going to check. See those little guys right there is what's ticking me off a little bit too. Let's find out if maybe I can patch holes now on it though. Let's see. Shift J. Nope. I'm going to delete the side faces because I know these have that multiple point edge, which we don't want. So maybe that might help if I come in now and patch them now. And I think that wouldn't let me delete these faces. They're too dependent. See, we have this other edge here. That's another one that should go. That's one of the big problems. Gotcha. It looks like we've got it all the way around, in fact. What in the world made this happen? There is a double edge on quite a lot of this. I must have extruded and then extruded again without realizing I was doing it. There is a little sliver right there that also needs to go away. Not that one, but this one. Oops. Come on now. Shit-X. Thank you. All right. So as much of a pain in the butt as that's being, this one probably has it on this side as well, which I can already tell you, yes, it does. Let's go ahead and swap out to our isometric view so we can see this cleaner. There. Shift X, and then the little guy down there. Once again, chase him down right there. Get rid of that. So cool. Let's find out now, because I'm thinking it's still going to be a bit of an issue. The way these are going to fit together. I don't even know where I'm at now. Where am I? Okay, I see. Gosh, we have a double edge all the way around here. Look at this one. There's another one. I think, though, that's the inner wall of that. But you know what? I'm getting rid of it anyway. What in the world did I do on these? I'm going to get rid of the entire inside of this whole thing and redo that, because it does have extra like geometry that shouldn't be there. See these extra edges and all this. Just get rid of that and reform the inside of it. Yeah, there's another one here. I think I got them all. Just have to look, there's another little weird sliver. Don't usually have these problems, but today we do. But I can take care of that. It's just a little manual labor to work that out. Let me just zoom out a little more. I think that one's good. I'm gonna have to check the top and bottom corners of these though. And it looks like this was like a double line, double walled thing. I don't know how I wound up doing that, but hey, whatever works. I'm going to double check this one here now too. Make sure there's no weird corner bits left. And here is one right there. So that will throw anything like lofting or whatever out of whack. It's another curve. I don't know why I'm getting a curve from those when you delete them. It's weird. Weird. Yeah, this should have gone much more smooth than it is, but it works. All right, so I think this bottom floor I have to delete as well, because there shouldn't be anything about that that's necessary. Let's try it though. So we click it and delete it, get rid of the curve. Just wanting to see. I think that's probably just the top face. So I'm going to hide my cushion, not this, but the cushion, and just kind of see that is not the top face, or maybe it is. Let's click it and see if the other one lights up. No, it doesn't. So let's get rid of it too. I don't need double walled stuff. So that is the final bit. Let's see if these are, man, this is like completely double lined here. Just because of the way I did the extrusions, I guess. Probably not the most practical way of doing it. Yeah, see, these are all got double edges on them. That's so strange. Oh, no, that one is right. Let me undo those. There we go. That needs to be gone, though. So strange. Did I undo something I shouldn't have? I don't think so. All right, so let's just get rid of that. These look like double lined as well. These are, yeah, I've never seen that, but hey, I've seen a lot. I haven't seen everything though. And so I guess this one goes too. Geez, man. All this goes to, right? Nope, that is the outside. We don't want to get rid of that one, so undo this one. But I should undo. Nope, we're good with that. I'm not sure why those are together the way they are. It's all right. So let's just take this guy now, hopefully, and Shift J it, and we're good. I'm going to have to hollow that out, though. But I'd rather do it this way than to try and do it after like 60 cuts. That's, created a lot of kind of like wrong geometry. Totally okay now. So I'm going to go a bit in here like this. And actually, let me make just a center square and pull this out about this far. And I'll move these points into a better position for doing what we're attempting to do here, about like that. And then these will go a little wider. Okay, cool. Whew. So now, if you can believe it, I'm going to grab that curve, pull that up a little bit. I'm just going to extrude again into this thing and hope we don't cause ourselves more problems again. So I'm just going to go here, W, look from the side, and just sort of go up into here a little ways. Doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to, we're going to minus that part out. So now that we're in perspective mode, this is such a convoluted way to doing this. But I'm going to take this W, I'm sorry, not W, this Q, hit this, right click, and now all that's good to go. We do have a sheet left, but that is going to be, man, why is that still considered a sheet? Lord, it's still wrong. So let me Shift J that. Nope. It's because of this front section. Let me just hide the little kick step part. This stuff is not joined, I guess, properly somewhere. That makes no sense, guys. As long as I can get a, what do you call it? Some kind of solid object out of it. That's all I care about. I'm going to select all the sheets and see if we can join them that way, or the faces. Nope. So now we're going to go in and try to thicken the sheet. See, that says solid. So, aha. Let's turn that off. This is what our sheet is. I see. So if I hide the sheets, I thought it was saying the whole object was a sheet still. Are we missing anything? Because if we aren't, then I'll just delete that other sheet and we get our sheet together. Oh, I think that's perfect. Let's just get rid of that sheet. And we're good. Okay, cool. No problem. It was just confusing me because I couldn't figure out why it was still saying it was a sheet and why the things aren't extruded. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's okay now though. Back to it. So let's turn our parts of our object here all on. I think they are, except for this guy. That is the, there we go, the rocker part on the bottom. We're going to take that now. And I am going to go back in here and do what I intended to do with the beginning. I'm going to curve these 4 corners, fillet them, I should say, outward like so, just to give those a little more something. I'm going to curve this over so it doesn't feel so unfinished. And then now I'm going to take this guy and we're going to Alt X mirroring that from this side to that, and we're going to make sure that we do union the halves, right click, and then the base is good to go. We're never going to see, you know, how that joins. I'm not really horribly worried about that. If we did want this to kick out, though, we'd have to make that little scissor kick out. I'm going to wait on that too, because I think just for this, it's going to be just a static prop for now. I might do it like a morph on it for it, but for now, I'm just leaving it. Okay, so with that, we need the sides of this chair. This center section is not going to be part of the sides. And I think what I'm going to do, just for getting this beginning of this going, is to create a piece that runs from about, I'm going to extend that down after the fact, so about here to here. We're going to try to make this a 90 degree. So I'm going to tab into the next slot here and go 90. And so that we can now extend this out by moving its point. And we want that to go with a V, so it goes down its own line. I'm not really caring exactly the how deep that has to go, because that will be fixed and determined by cutting it out or whatever we're going to do with it later, scaling even. So now I'm going to make another line that comes from here, and we can run this out as well like this. And now I'm just going to kind of come down here. Whoops. There we go. Right click, and so we can trim those edges off, no problem. That's why I don't care if I overdo it. I'm going to take these 2 points here, and whoops, and we're going to move those down, and we have to do that in the direction of, say, one of these lines here. Get that, you know, somewhat the same and below, so I think that works. Now this is going to have an angle here, so from the top, I'm going to move these 2 back points just inward to where they snap to this line, kind of get a look. And so now this we'll have to actually slide back. Yeah, we'll slide it back, and we'll put the back on the back, and we'll smooth it and do all that kind of stuff afterwards. So I'm just going to grab this line. Hopefully that works the same. And I'm going to go with the V along, you know, any one of these lines that we're wanting to follow. Pull that back until, you know, it's mostly where it needs to be. Oh, we didn't extend it, so let's grab the points instead and move those back. Grab, then V, move it along that line here till it's, you know, 99% or whatever there. Good to go. Okay, so sometimes that's a huge pain in the butt, but, you know, we do what we got to do. I'm going to do the front of this first, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to pull this out, actually. And then we can worry about the way its profile is. I'm going to make this extra wide for a very particular reason. And then I'm going to take this front right here and hit my space bar, which sends us to a temporary plane based on that face. Get rid of these lines, I believe. And with that particular face, I'm going to draw a curve onto it. Huh? Okay. I'm going to make a circle like so. I'm going to grab that and move it over. I'll kill you later. And I'm going to actually go V, snap that to about here, and then I'm going to move this holding control till I can snap to that edge. I think that's what I wanted to do to give me enough of the shape that I want here. Because this has to come up and then curve over until this says tangent. So I'm going to go, where are you at? It's going to be somewhere there. I don't believe that's exactly where it needs to be, but it will work. And I'm going to now pop that over like this. We can make this go more like so. So that we now have, you know, a similar shape. And now I'm going to go somewhere out here as far as that needs to be up until about, and if you want this to be the exact, you know, place across, you can hit shift when you're on there. And now you can pull this out to make a temporary line. If you didn't know that, it's a cool, easy, helpful thing to do. I'm going to come up and then I'm going to curve over maybe straight over like that. And then I'm going to fix these points like that. I think that will work okay for the moment. We'll worry about any front detailing or any of that kind of stuff shortly. So with that now, with that still that same temporary construction plane set, we're going to be able to push this back push this whole piece back, and we're going to push this back far enough to where we're going to actually push this back, and I'm going to hit W to minus that. I think doesn't work. Which way do I need to go with this? So that's difference, that's intersect. Let's go with keep tools. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to go with T keep tools. And I'm going to pull this back, right click it, undo that. I'm going to pull this back until I get to this edge, snap that there, right click it, and then I can get rid of this outside block. That did not do what I wanted. Okay, let's undo. There we go. So what I need to do is to select the face. Oh man, everything's going wrong. The face here. And I want to push this back, but create a difference, but keep the two tools. So I'm just going to hit W probably for this and select my block and then come back and then hit this and T to keep the tools, right click. And now I can get rid of this outside block and we'll still have the arm. That only took 22 years. All right, cool. There it is. And depending upon what we want to do with the overall look, I think I'm just going to take all the edges of this guy, like here and in the back as well. And I'm going to fillet these greatly to where they're as round as I can get them. I'm going to actually probably just do the front and the back first, or the front first and then the back, I mean. See if it'll let me do it more this way, which it does. So let's go ahead and right click that. We'll do the back one now because sometimes it's a little too complex for it to follow. And we'll try this back one by itself now too. Looks good. All right, so now we have that. I'm going to do a little detail probably on here. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is just take that section. We're going to extrude it out as a new body. So I'll hit B. I'm going to pull this out as a new wood piece there. And I'm going to grab the edges like this of the whole thing. Of course, it's big difficult. And even the bottom one. And I'm going to just try my best. Looks like it's being difficult. Let's just do this one and this one for the moment and round those over. It's not going to let me. How about also maybe this one. So we got this guy, and this one, and see if it'll let me do all three. So sometimes it won't let you do two, but it'll let you do three. Okay, that's not working either. Let's do the under one first. And I see what's happening is it's coming too close to this other side. So first things first, we'll do this part first. I don't think it's going to let me. So with that, we've also got a double edge there now. I can see it right there, which we don't want. So let me see if I can dissolve that little tiny face. Let's see, delete first. Yep, and that was good. That's going to help a lot. There's another one I can see. It must have hit the extrude twice by accident. So we're just going to pop that fillet off of there as well. Fill it up and come down here to see if there is anything else. Yep, there is another one right there. Got to be real kind of careful with those extrusions, you know? Hey, thank you. From Yemen, huh? Very cool. What's it like over there? I have no idea. I've never been. And you can't believe anything that you see on the news here in the United States. So you tell me what's going on and how it is over there. I don't believe anything I hear on the TV. So let's just see. Okay, that's a little better. Let's undo that. Let me just do this piece by itself now. Once again. And we'll go to just there. I'm just trying to soften the edge. And maybe this will let me. That deleted the whole bit. That ain't good. So let's just bring that back. And here. Maybe this one by itself. It's just wanting to destroy everything. So we'll just undo that. I'll come back and do a different treatment on that part. It's okay. Looks all right. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to push that back inward just a little because it's a little overly thick, I think, for what it is. Cool. So with that, let's go ahead and duplicate this over. I'm going to get rid of my construction plane. And we can take this whole object here and here. And I'm going to Alt-X, flip it over to the side. Good to go. Have you guys tried this zero sugar orange cream Coke? Man, this stuff's good. This is not an ad for Coke. Okay, so with this, the chair is feeling a bit wide to me. So to fix that, I'm just going to split it right down the middle with a line. We're going to grab everything on this side and just delete it for now. I'm going to take the center pieces, all three of them. I'm going to hit C. I'm going to cut it with that. Right click. I'm going to delete everything on this side. In fact, let's cut that piece as well. And I'm going to make this narrower. More narrow is the right way to say that. Narrower. I'm going to grab these faces here. And just shove those over a bit. You gotta love this program, man. It just makes life easy. Well, it makes modeling easy in this way. And let's just grab all of these objects now. And with V on this edge, I will just snap these to the center line like that. And then we can take everything, Alt-Exit, pop that over, union the halves together, which won't let me right now because it's multiple objects. Cool. That looks a little better, I think. It's a little narrower, more narrow. I probably should have made these taper toward the back now that I think about it. So that's a bummer. That is okay, though. It's a stylized, scenario here. So I just queued those parts together. I'm going to queue these parts together and these two parts. And I'm going to go underneath and put these two parts back together. Cool. So now, like I said, I really should have tapered those back. I wonder if it's going to be too horrible and ugly if I just try to chop them. Let's do it. That's what I say. So if I take this about somewhere a ways down and maybe about there, so we still have some, piece left to attach to the back. This might not work at all. It might look really horrible, but I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to go like this, pow, get rid of that section. I can always use my fillets. Let's just see how that's going to affect everything. I'm going to fillet this way, way, way big. It's not even going to let me do it, so that's fun. Let's just see how that's working. I don't hate it. I don't like it either. But I say to heck with it. Let's do it. It's my chair. I'll do what I want. And we're going to take this one, scrap it, take that and scrap it. And we're going to go boom, boom. And I'll X that guy over to here. That works. Looks like it's angry. Looks like an angry chair. And now I'm going to make the back, I suppose. So somewhere, I'm just going to make a rectangle to start with. Central rectangle, something like this. About to, maybe to there. Let's find out if that's the right place to have done that. I'm just going to snap it to this back. I think that's pretty good. Maybe even a tad bit too wide. And let's go ahead and push that back. I'm going to go from the side, figure out what a good place would be for that. Okay, cool. And then now we can grab it, move it up. And I'm going to grab it from this bottom edge, snap it to that edge. Okay, right click to accept it. And then I'm going to rotate it from that edge as well to where it's pretty much in line with the rest, like that. And probably we're going to grab the top points here and just bring them up. To be like the back. This probably should have not gone that route. Let's go ahead and angle the whole curve now. Rotate. Get this little better angle like that. Okay, that's working for me. Not really sure what to do with the upper. I think I'm just going to round the corners over because it's not going to be a wing back. I'm just going to grab these, bevel them down like that. And I'm going to just pull this out. It's a comfortable poofy chair, right? And that back should not be like this. This is how it should be. Let me fix this. That should be more like so with the cushiony part in front. So let's do that. I'm just going to get rid of these. I'm going to clone this curve, but first I'm going to make, let's just grab this curve in the front and this one and this one. These are long and go all the way down. Yeah, I don't want to do a cut curve command, so I'm going to duplicate that curve. Then I'm going to draw from the front the extensions of that curve. So we're going to go from there to basically there, and from here to here, and then I'm going to link that one to that one, hopefully. They may not be linked, but I think they are. And then from here, we can move those points. I don't know if this is going to be a flat plane or not now that I think about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these up to where those are in line with this. Don't think that's going to work. Let's grab these. Let's see. I think it should be able to snap there. No, it can't. So we can zero them at least. So in scaling. So if I grab all these points, these, and we scale this way, and then I scale it at a 0. That should work, and it does not. Cool. Let me grab these now and move them off. And I think what the problem is something's bound to something else. These are considered control point curves is why. So let me grab the curve and the curves. This one. I'm going to grab those and move them now. Looking at it from the side, I hope I can fix this. If not, it's okay, I can remake it. But if I select here, obviously that's the top. These are going to be considered controlled points, so I probably can't move them. Yeah, stupid. That's all right. So I'm going to delete this top curve. I can't think of another way to do that. So I'm going to delete that top curve. I'm going to come back in here, and I'm going to draw just a spline curve, not a control point curve, see, because that's what this is. So a spline curve, we should be able to do this. And I'm just going to go boop to boop to boop, and there to there. I'll straighten these out after the fact. I'm not sure why it's giving me control points when it just told me it couldn't let me edit those. That's fun. I'm going to do like so. This one doesn't have to be exact though, luckily, because it's the it's like the cushion, you know, like I said. So that one comes up, that one goes there, and this one can come up, and these can go down just to get it in an approximate shape. Good enough. Okay, so with that, we do have our plane that we're trying to get. And then now we can take this and make this the thickness of the cushion that we want to make. So that will come back a little more fluffy. And then grab the whole thing from the side. Yeah, tell me about Yemen. I don't know anything about it. Even in my many travels that I should have known about it. Let's go with that curve. We're going to rotate around that curve using R. Come on now. R, really? So I'm going to grab the whole thing. That's what we need. And then we're going to rotate around that curve. So it'll be pretty much like that. We need to shape the cushion now. So first things first, shape the cushion. It's like rock the Casbah, but it's not. And I'm going to pull this down to here. Looks okay. And from the front, I need to make cutouts for these arms. So I'm going to use just another spline here. It's going to come from here to there, like so. Going to extend that off. I think that clips. Yeah, that should be okay. And what I'm going to do is just cut it on the one side. We can get rid of the extra there. Get rid of the curve. I'm probably making this way too convoluted, but hey, that's what I do. And then we're going to mirror it over. Alt-X. Let's just flip it this way. We're going to merge the halves together. Say right-click and accept. Now we can do some cool stuff that feels a lot more like, you know, a cushion. I'm trying to think exactly what to do here. I don't want to make one of those imprint deals, like a mold or something. I just want to put a rim around it for one. So that's going to consist of grabbing this outside shape, including this, this, and this. And I'm going to do an offset right here. Push that inward. And I'm going to push this back inside. Not too much. And I'm going to now, hopefully this will work well. I'm going to make some diamonds and shine bright like a diamond, and do like so and like so. Close enough. Let me undo this because I need to be able to see. So now we're going to do like a diamond. I don't know why I can't see this. I'm going to do from here, here, and here. Like that. I'm going to grab this, pull it down to right there. Okay, and then I'm going to, for the moment, I'm going to grab that, pull that back somewhere to here. Eventually, I'm going to have to lean that to be at the same angle. Let's see how. And I am going to mirror that over for now. And we're going to go with the Alt-X that way. Cool. And I'm going to delete this line in between by snipping it here with our trim tool. And that's all one shape now. And so I can take this curve, put that together, and I can, I hope, this is a dream of mine, rectangular array this. Let me just undo that and move this over. This should be cool if it works. I'm also going to make sure from the side that I have this at the correct angle. Something like this, and rotate. And get this aligned here, pull that in to that spot just a little bit lower. Might not be able to see it from the front now, but I can to some degree, like so. From the front now, we'll take this, we'll rectangular array it across. And I'm going to make this have less numbers. Less like so. My grandma had this exact chair. I'm going to now rectangular array that down to here and make it have less like so. Hopefully this will work. It's looking cool, like I wanted it to, but you know what they say about hoping. And I'm going to try now to connect this point with this one and with this one. I know those probably aren't connected, but I will fix that shortly. So this one will go here to here to here to here. Those obviously need to be worked out a little bit. Remove some of these control points. That'll be fine. Okay. That works for me-ish, sort of. Okay, good enough. And then now we can do another line that goes from here to here. Probably should have just mirrored it over, but I'm going to do this the hard way because, you know, that means it means more somehow. And to here. And then we're going to go down. I'm just making an outside edge to this thing. So that should work. And then did I do the bottom line yet? I don't think so. So, and I probably should have done these in sections like I'm doing these bottom ones. All right, so let me just see. I know these are all at different levels. I'm going to hide the cushion and this back part. I'm going to try and snap these all on the same exact level now. So you can see they are at different levels. And I think the top one, let me just double check. The top one, I think, is the correct one. So these need to move forward. Just to start with, make sure I get all of these. My cat's meowing at me. She wants me to give her some attention. But that ain't gonna happen. Just kidding. So that is not snapped yet. So what I have to do is grab it, hit V, snap that to that, and then when I move it now, from this point, this will snap exactly to that. So now we grab all the bottom ones, and this is a hugely involved way of getting this done, but it's going to work, which is nice. So now from the side here, I'm going to grab that. We're going to snap the grab to here, and then we're going to snap that to there. And then I want to grab these, and probably I'm going to have to get the points themselves because it's quite possible those won't work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete these curves that I made there. Those are okay to be deleted because I'm going to remake them from the front and get these to snap to that exactly the way it should be. So I'm just going to go from this point to this point to this point. This way I know for a fact they are snapped on that level. Right click and see we've got it like so. I'm not sure why entirely they're not closed up, but because they really should be. So if I grab this and this and this, does that work? It doesn't. It's because these probably aren't completely bonded. It's weird because they should be, but we'll find out, won't we? All right, so with that, I'm going to go with just another straight line from here to here to here. Right click that one, and from this dot all the way around again. And this is what I didn't do last time, was get these corresponding to those points individually as they go across. And then we'll go back and I'll stick in the corner curves up here once that's done. But it's a little weird. Yeah, now you see what's going on here. These are not at the same angle, so that does make a huge difference to everything. So I'm going to grab points now. and try to get these snapped in like so, and these snap to this one, and those do fill in. So obviously these aren't perfectly snapped in, so we're going to have to do this from this angle, which will help them do so. I think I'm going to have to come back and get those to work. These obviously are not snapped, so they must be this one, grab, move back and forward to there. This one the same. So those work, but I can't seem to get these. So what I would think I might do is do these individually. I'm going to pull those off, and I'm going to go back with a single line from here to here. Now it works. For whatever reason, it did not want to do that before. I'm going to try it here. Maybe it just was not snapping in depth correctly. Let's try this here. Perfect. Okay, so for whatever reason, it was not putting it at the right depth from the front angle. Cool. All right, so that is there. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know. Yeah, you will. How's it going, sir? Just, I think it's a sir. I don't know, so because I don't know you guys. So now what I'm going to attempt, I'm going to turn this part of the chair back on so I can see where, you know, these are supposed to be sitting here curve-wise. Oh, this part of the chair, that's important. Yeah, so this needs some kind of a curve happening there. So it's possible now. I'm just going to draw a little arc from here. And let's actually make this a spline curve because that way I can control it. I'm just going to go from here to here to here. That's just for starters. And then we'll just do this one over here. And hopefully those are already snapping. But if they're not, they're easy to snap this way. So I'm just going to go like this, this, and this. We obviously have to move them with our little points. And they don't have to be exact because they're, for one, a small, a squishy cushion. But for another, we are at an odd angle here for that. So if they are not too far off the bat, they will still look great. Okay, and then now I'm going to turn off those pieces again so we can see what's going on. Aha. And so we just need to make sure that these points snap together here. And in fact, all of those, I don't know if I need to do the control point. Let's go from the side, look at the curve. If I go to grab that, I think I only have to snap this point to that point. Let's just see. So this goes back, that snaps to there, and right click, and nope, we do have to move the control points as well. Let me just see what this is. That is that. So I'm just gonna put it back. Let's get our control points perfectly in line as well. So we'll grab this one, snap it to our angled line, and this one, and do the same. And that should put it in the exact same plane to where these will, in fact, bond, but they don't. Weird. Okay, well, I might have to wait on those. Or maybe we need to draw a separate line from it here to here because they're a different object altogether. No, guess not. That is kind of weird, though, that they don't work in that way. That's all right. So I'll work on the curve itself after the fact. I'm just going to get rid of that and this for now. And so from here, because this will be the quilty portion of our cushion, I'm going to grab just things that are like every other one. You know, not the little center diamonds, not the other off checker part, like so. And now we can extrude that out, and just want to make sure the direction is correct, which it is. And we're not going to go real deep on those because these are just going to be like the springy, roundy, you know, cushion parts. So let's see now. And I probably, yet again, shouldn't have made them a whole bunch of separate objects. I probably, now that I've got that one finished, I honestly can probably do just that one as a solid. And yeah, I think that'll work because now I can just round all of its front corners. And these, of course. And these. Just everything but the back corners, actually. And I sure hope that works. It will to a point, because it'll crash out after a certain point if they are difficult. You know, or they're too complex to do this to, but we'll give it a try. Yeah, see, it only goes to there. So let's undo that and just do these here. First off, I'm just going to Control Shift Alt, round those out to about, I guess to about there is fine. And then I'm going to try and just round the top as much as possible, like that. Very good, very good. So then we can take that piece and do our array this way. So we're going to make a couple different arrays here. I'm going to take this face now and do the same thing. We pull this out to that surface. I'm going to grab just the outside lines. First of all, these. So I hope you guys are learning something here. This is kind of like, I wouldn't use plasticity for this typically, but this is how you would do this in here in an easy way. So now we just take this and round it quite a lot too, if it'll let me, to something like that as well. And then this part will probably be covered with a little like diamond kind of, you know, thing. And normally I would also make these tuck harder in that area, but it's all right. And we're going to do the uprights first. Come on. Pull that out. Something like that. Along those lines. So not horrible. Not perfect. So what we'll do now is take this guy, do a rectangular array across the top. Let me just get to a better position here. Instead of 3, we'll go with 4. This dude, do another one like so, but instead of 4, we'll do 5. And then we'll take those 5, do another rectangle array down to here. And instead of that many, we'll do 3. And honestly, that needs to move over a little bit, so let's undo that. So another rectangular array. Let's try to get it in a better position. Something like that. And now we can do 3. And then we can take, can't tell, is that up off the board or something? Yeah, because they're going down. So let's undo that. We're going to do another rectangular array, but we have to make sure it's at the same slant as this. Let me see. Rectangular array. Like that. I'm going to go from the side here. Hopefully I can still adjust this way, because that needs to go forward. And it won't. It doesn't want me to. It is okay, because I'll just manually adjust them. I thought I was going to make this super easy on myself. It's easy, but it's not exactly as easy as it could have been. So I'll just take these guys here and just shove them forward at their proper angle. So grab the, use this point here, snap them to this curve. I'll do the same thing with these. From the side, grab them, snap them from here to this curve, and we're good. And then we need to take probably one of these from the front and grab it, move it this way, rotate it around 90 degrees, stick it here. Aha. So that one is different, but I'm trying to make this easy on myself. So let's find out if we can actually just cheat it this way. Works for me. Grab, put it there. Just going to see if we need to move it forward, which we do. Also, that needs to be revolved from the top. So let's just make sure that's correct first. So rotate. I think this one was off as well, so it's not a biggie. Okay, and then from the side, close, grab, somewhere in there like that. Rotate it again a bit, close to. All right, it's not surgical instruments, so it's totally okay. And then we're going to Alt-X that dude straight across to here. We're going to duplicate those, pull those down to this one. I'm not sure why that one's a little tucked in, probably because this one is too. Something like that. These also need to be, so I'm going to go to the side and get these depths on these two correct now. Probably a much better way to do all of this that I've been doing, but it's cool. It's my way. I'm going to grab these. Probably mirror them. I'm going to use the freestyle by hitting F. Go from the center of this dude Let's undo that, do it from the front. So Alt X, freestyle from here. You can just pop those down there. Make sure they're at the right depth. Definitely not, huh? Rotate a little here. Perfect. Maybe drop them down a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to take 4 of these guys. So just 1, 2, 4. I'm going to grab them. We're going to duplicate them and snap them to the center-ish area and here. These can be made, you know what? We don't need 4 of them. I'm going to grab 1 of them, duplicate it, grab it, and stick it about here, make it smaller. Make sure it's at the right depth. Not sure what's up with this guy. Both of those look like they're needing that fixed. So, in fact, there's 3 of them. There's 4 of them. Then I'll just grab them all to revolve them because we don't want to have to mess with that so much. And actually, I'm not even going to worry about it because, well, yeah, I am. I am a little OCD that way. It'll bother me if I cheat knowing that I shouldn't have. I don't know if that's a character thing, but I know it's a I don't want to feel bad later kind of thing. All right, so from the side again. And I should have done this all before I put the thing on an angle. So this is why it's so difficult. Grab the, run it from its own, some straight angle here. Let's find it here. Snap it to the curve somewhat close. At any rate, we're going to take that now from the front, do a rectangular array like so of it. Make sure that there are 4. I think we can do another array. Yeah, I'm not going to do them all at the same time. Let's just do them here. And we'll go ahead and do 4. We will agree to it. Make sure they're in OK placement. I guess they are, looking at it from the side. Yep. So we're going to do one more array, but we're going to go from the top down, or from upper to lower like this. So 1 there and 1 here. And we'll knock that down to that many. If this comes out looking like crap, well, you know, whatever. I'll fix it. So I'm going to grab this dude now. And we're going to move that out because it's way too embedded there now. It's one of the reasons why I made it as thick as I did. Plus, say when I made oatmeal really bad one day. We're going to do a rectangular array straight across to here. We're going to put that many. I'm going to copy one more of these guys over, probably into that corner, just to have it in there. Could probably even do the same here. So now we can just take this one, this one, this one, and this one. And we could rectangular array them down to this level. So that'd be one. Where am I at? That'd be one there and there. We just need to make this 3. Perfect. And now we need to make these obviously the same depth. So all of the ones in the middle, I'm just going to deselect these because the other ones all need to move. This will save us one click. So we go this way now and grab them, move them forward. They pop out the same as the other.
I'm going to Walmart.
What for?
I have to get something for dinner.
Okay. And then I grab these I should have just deselected the others, but this works. And then I'm going to grab these and push those forward now as well. Now we have this scenario. And once again, if I just take these 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, go ahead and grab this one too. I'm going to duplicate those. So when you get back, and I'm going to grab. I'm going to move them over. So we're going to go down and over to the middles of these. And with those selected, make sure they're at their proper depth, which they're not, but now they are. And I hope this winds up looking good, because it's quite possible that it won't. So I'm going to go now with another array, and we can go down to the bottom on these, I believe. So that should work out just fine there. When we get our others selected at their proper depths, let's just go to the side now, grab these and move them forward. We will just grab the bottom ones now, like deselecting those, again from the side, and then the bottom ones can move forward as well. Okay, hopefully this will all look good. It might look like total junk. We'll see in the end, because what matters is once we get it over into Blender. So I think overall that's not bad. I'm going to turn off our internal lines, and I'm going to go here and turn off our edges. And overall it looks pretty good. I mean, that's actually a lot better than I expected it to look. That is not bad at all. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to duplicate this guy here though and shift it over into the corner. You'll never know the difference. And the same thing here. And shift that one over into the corner as well. Cool. And then all this can be smoothed out in Blender, is what I plan on doing with it. So I'm going to take all of these chunks now that are part of the back, but not the round parts, I don't think. I mean, they could be the same material, right? Because it isn't like a leather back chair. Let's take them all. So let me turn off this guy, and let's take all these pieces. And we're going to queue those together. I don't think it's going to let me. And it did. So that's good. I think some of them are still separate though. Maybe not. We're going to take all the curves though and get rid of them. And I'm going to see, yeah, those pieces are separate. So I'm going to move that one, this one here in just a bit. I'm going to take this one, move in just a little too, and try to queue all these back together again. figure out what's missing now. I think that one needs to be added in. And what else here? This guy here. And now this will all be one piece. Cool. So now when I turn on these, we'll have this. I'm going to start my rounding of everything out. So with these edges here selected, we can round this over. I am going to, in fact, round these over. This one, of course, as well. Not looking too bad. I never expected to be able to make that shape in Plasticity, to be honest with you. And then I'm going to take this edge here, round this cushion away. Let's just grab the entire edge, round this cushion away from that one. This one will have a round, but it will be kind of a less soft rounded edge. It's a little harder like that. This one will definitely be a harder edge than the last. Like about that. I said I did not really expect to get that shape in Plasticity, so that's a little odd to me. Let me see what I can do here and here. It might not soften these, but it did. Crazy. Sometimes what you think will work won't, and what sometimes you think will or won't will. I think I'm going to make this a nicer shape as well, but I'm not sure. Now that's a little too modern. Cool. I think that's okay. I'm going to soften that all up and then give it wrinkles and stuff in Blender. We're going to give it, you know, all kinds of stuff in Blender here as well. I might want to make this cushion, though, a little bit more, you know, a little bit more interesting, I guess. So I'm just going to grab all these. We're going to go ahead and do an offset curve here and just kind of push that inward just to make it, you know, have a... Did that not take? Let me see. Undo that. Undo that. Let's grab the curve again. I think I just didn't accept it, maybe. So on offset curve, we're going to make that go inward. Something like this. Right. It does not want to accept. Oh, actually, you know what? I think it did. We're just not selecting it. So let's grab it, and so on. Okay. It is there. So we'll grab that, push that down. This will be a much more comfy looking chair, hopefully when we're done with it here. So I'm going to grab all of these corners. It just has a problem with that sometimes. There we go. And my stomach is making all kinds of noise now. And I'm going to probably chamfer those first and then grab all of those. And now do those as weird as a fillet. Didn't expect to grab that top one too. So we're going to fillet those now around. And then now I can take all of this. Let's undo that and grab both and fillet those. Whoops, hang on. Getting weird. If I was a woman, famous woman, I'd be fillet stiller. Okay, let's try this now. Okay, I'm going to have to do these one at a time. All right, well, you guys get the idea. It's coming along. I'm going to run off and do some stuff, but thanks for showing up and showing me the stuff. Cool.